Audrey and Alan Bain have been creating art together for the past 50 years. Their latest exhibition, Weathering Sentinels, is currently on display at the Cline House Gallery.
Weathering Sentinels. We chose the title because just about everything in all of the paintings that I've got up here are all weathering, and they are all sentinels of the past.
I find that around me, where we drive, I'm living now in the Ingleside area, the countryside around, it's really, really lovely there, but I've seen the old barns and the old buildings slowly disappearing, and I want to record them. And as long as I can paint and I can get down to my studio, that's what matters.
Audrey and I can't drive from Ingleside to Cornwall without watching the scenery go by. And that's a rare gift. You know, you think in people who play on their cell phone or stare endlessly at the road in front of them. We don't. We comment on combinations of color, we comment on composition, and look at that, what color would you do that? So, you know, we're aware of artistic input all the time.
My style is strictly mine. I started out in oils, and it was much more flexible, but I'm now into acrylics, but I became allergic to oils, so I had to learn how to teach myself using acrylics to look like oils. And I paint on the spot what I see very impasto. I go right at it. And most of my paintings are probably done small sketches.
I have always admired Audrey's ability to paint. She can paint exactly what she looks at, and she can turn it into a picture that sitting right there, you can see the picture emerge on her canvas. She can collect not only the colors and the blend of colors, but she can catch mood really well. I can't. I have to design my pictures. Watercolorists are planners more than anything else, I think, because it's not a forgiving medium. You can't make mistakes, and out in the bush when you're painting, you often do. So my paintings, my outdoor sketches are largely small outdoor sketches, but the bigger paintings are all brought home information, brought home photographs, brought home collected sketches and black and whites and that sort of stuff, and all put together into a final painting.
It's rare for two artists to be married and produce. That is rare, a rarity, and we were fortunate it's worked for us. But also too, my husband being a geologist by profession, he likes rocks, so I have had to go with him. He's taken me from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific. We've painted across Canada.
Several times.
Several times. And so I had to learn to adapt to what I saw. I grew up in the Maritimes, and those were the realists, the Colville, Pratt, and Forrestal. Those were realist paintings, but he introduced me to the group of 7. So I had to learn how to paint bush, even though I was not a bush person, because I grew up in the city. We critique each other's work. Very much. I have helped you and you have helped me, because it's given us another pair of eyes, and I don't work well in groups. I really don't. I like to be, when I paint, I like to be by myself. But when I do paint and I'm looking at something and I'm not happy with it, we can look at it and say, you know, there's something wrong, and he gives me his perspective, and vice versa.
Audrey's observations of my paintings are coming from, her observations are coming from a completely different background of experience So her observations are similar to what other people would see with respect to my paintings.
Well, I hope that they would experience what I did, that they would see what I saw, what prompted me to do this particular image, what made me feel the need to record this, because I think my work is almost historical in that sense, that I'm recording the past. And I always was a history buff. I always used to read books on history and this type of thing, and this is just history I'm recording, to my mind. And it's a way of life that has passed.
What I get from my paintings is probably what I would like to think that other folks would get from my paintings as well. But to me, a painting is a kind of a visual tape recording. You know, and an auditory tape recording, you hear everything, and if you're listening carefully, then your mind begins to build a picture around it. But if you look at a painting that's, I think, well done, that painting should begin to stir up feelings for you. What was the day like? What was the weather like? What was the wind? What did the birds sound like that we're singing, and so on and so forth. And if folks, you know, standing in front of a picture of rapids, for example, can hear the rapids and feel that kind of relaxation that you get sitting beside water, running water, that sort of stuff, that says that my paintings worked, and that folks get the same feelings from them that I get when I started out painting the thing in the first place. I said before that the paintings that I do take me back into the bush, and so I'm hoping that other folk get the same thing.